In the past, three-generation households were very common in Japan, but as times changed, nuclear families became the dominant family structure. Hmm. What's more, Japanese society is even moving towards single-person households now. Separate living arrangements and even geographical dispersion are making blood ties fade into the past. That concludes our second section. With Japan's declining birth rate, aging population, and nuclear families becoming mainstream, people's blood relationships are growing distant. Many elderly, like Mr. Takano, have siblings like his elderly sister in Hokkaido who can't travel anymore. She passed away alone in Tokyo, leaving her final affairs to be handled by special cleanup companies. Moreover, cases of unclaimed remains and ashes by relatives are increasing. Third, marriage is no longer mandatory in modern times. The era of singlehood has arrived. In 2005, Japan's lifetime unmarried rate for men was 16%, projected to rise to about 30% by 2030. That means 1 in 3 men will never marry, while women's unmarried rate will rise from 7% in 2005 to 23% by 2030. Combined with divorcees and widowed individuals, singlehood is spreading across all age groups in Japan. In Japan, single life doesn't necessarily mean loneliness or hardship. Take 79-year-old Miss Wakayama, a lifelong unmarried woman living a vibrant life. When her stepfather died young, Miss Wakayama took on caring for her ailing mother and younger sister. She knew she needed stable income, which led her to pass nursing exams through sheer determination. Thus began her life, balancing nursing work with family care, continuing even after her sister passed away. Miss Wakayama takes great pride in her decades-long nursing career. Oh, I loved nursing work. My personality suited it perfectly. They even assigned me to surgical departments where I assisted in many operations. Working in that high-pressure operating room environment gave me tremendous fulfillment. At 27-28, a colleague doctor proposed, but I declined due to self-perceived plain looks and family obligations. By 40, after buying a 3-bedroom apartment, she committed to lifelong singlehood. On sunny days, Miss Wakayama strolls around her apartment complex, dresses up for trips with friends, and even spent 3 months' salary on a statement ring. But her comfortable life remains closely tied to her physical health. As she ages, there's nobody to rely on when health issues arise. Once, when she caught a cold and couldn't go out, she survived on just water for a week. Since that starvation episode, she now stocks 3 months' worth of portioned, plastic-wrapped meals. After cancer diagnosis, she constantly worries about collapsing alone. Would she die unnoticed, at home? Eventually, she began searching for suitable senior housing to spend her remaining years. This concludes our third section. Japan's singles era means marriage isn't obligatory, especially as women gain independence through careers. As a nurse, Miss Wakayama created fulfilling single life. Her greatest fear is becoming an isolated, unconnected person dying uncared for in old age. While the breakdown of geographical, blood, and marital ties brings regret, it also reflects modern societal evolution. As Sapiens notes, specialized labor division and individualism inevitably weaken family and community structures. Pre-industrial life revolved around 3 frameworks: nuclear families, extended families, and tight-knit communities. Families served as welfare systems, healthcare providers, and retirement plans combined. Illness meant family care. Aging meant family support. Children were retirement insurance. Without family or community protection, individuals had no safety net in traditional society. Women's marital fates were particularly constrained. But modern states and markets erode family and community bonds. Now, hospitals treat the sick, nursing homes care for elderly, women choose their spouses freely. People can now live independently through social services. This evolution reflects Fei Xiaotong's theory: we're transitioning from geography-based kinship societies to stranger-oriented societies. Personal liberation carries hidden costs. Millions of years of evolution programmed us for community. Genetic need for connection makes freedom's price loneliness. Now let's explore part 4, workplace connections as social bonds. Several workplace ties, and you risk becoming connectionless prime candidates for lonely deaths. Even without strong geographic, family, or marital ties, decent living remains possible. But lose workplace connections, that's the final thread snapping. 63-year-old Takano was once considered a success story. He worked at a major Tokyo bank, married with 2 children. During the pre-bubble economy era, he owned a coveted house in Kodiara, felt like a Shinjuku big shot. Takano prioritized work over family, 90-minute commutes, returning at 2 to 3 a.m. daily. No time to breathe, barely eating, surviving on 2 to 3 hours sleep. When his wife left, he doubled down on work. Performance skyrocketed. By his 40s, burnout symptoms emerged. Poor concentration, depression, client loss. He kept diligently working to meet bank quotas. After collapsing from overwork and a 3-month leave, he was demoted to make work positions. Work used to define my worth, Takano confesses. Post-illness work performance never recovered. At retirement, just unused business cards and client name bundles remained. Almost nobody from those business cards ever called him. His workplace connections were severed the moment he got sick. Compared to Takano, 50-year-old Mr. Ishida was worse off, evicted from company housing onto the streets. After graduating from Tokyo Private University, Ishida worked at a food company for nearly 20 years. During the bubble economy, company profits soared. Work was genuinely enjoyable then. When business declined, he accepted voluntary retirement buyout. He thought finding new work would be easy. How wrong he was. Still persistent, he shows me today's sports newspaper, called every job listing number here. But when I say I'm 50, they won't even give interviews. Still, I keep trying. In Japan's workplace is family culture. Companies were life's foundation. Imagine the devastation of midlife unemployment here. Losing corporate ties means social exile in Japan. Japan's 1990s economic collapse created mass unemployment. Many connectionless people lost family ties after job loss. Ironically, workplace devotion often destroys family bonds, creating more connectionless people. Unemployed, middle-aged recluse, their social competitiveness plummets. Another story. An unemployed man lived off father's pension. When father died, he hid the corpse to keep collecting pension money. No money for funeral, no relatives to help. This pension fraud isn't rare in modern Japan. Losing work in competitive Japan means losing both income and social belonging, becoming connectionless. From this analysis, we understand how individuals in connectionless society gradually lose social bonds. First, urbanization permanently severs geographical ties as people leave hometowns, breaking connections with native communities. Second, weakening family bonds dilute blood relationships. Third, marriage becomes optional as singlehood emerges. Fourth, employment constitutes social connection. Sever workplace ties and everything collapses. NHK's profound analysis doesn't stop here, though. Traditional Japanese agricultural society relied on geographical or blood-based mutual aid communities. Modern society replaces these with career-based social connections, transcending geography. NHK proposes 3 redemption paths for the connectionless. First, rebuild human bonds. Mr. Kinoshita's story. After divorce and daughter's fatal accident, he sought fresh start in Tokyo. He left hometown, trying to sever all past connections. In Tokyo, he found surrogate daughters, the Mochizuki sisters, filling his parental void. These paper daughters became family, helping him start anew. Second solution, let NGOs act as surrogate relatives. Japan now has established NGOs assisting the connectionless. These organizations handle hospital admissions when members have no family. When Ms. Wakayama collapsed, NGOs brought food, acting as emergency contacts. Third solution, collective living communities for mutual support. Mr. Casho's story. Former suicide attemptee now lives in community. He found purpose making okara cookies from tofu waste. He says, like worthless okara were society's discards but can become something beloved. In summary, people have found ways to combat connectionless deaths and isolated living. They can rebuild social bonds, rely on NGOs as surrogate families, or find warmth in collective living communities, as the authors say. By documenting these lives, we aim to replace societal indifference with compassion. Their vision is a Japan where people can live and die alone with dignity and peace. These Japanese explorations offer valuable insights for China, facing similar aging and singles trends. Well, that's the connectionless society. This concludes our book interpretation.